Loading snacks.
What it do, snackers, snackettes, and snack X's? It's your boy Gage. I am here with Sin, whose name says Gage.
And it shouldn't say that.
I mean,
let's
only one of me, buddy.
Let's fix that.
You know what I'm saying? Be yourself, sir. Be yourself. You are now tuned in to Loading Snacks Weekly, where we get together once a week and we talk about all kinds of things that are happening in pop culture. And today, Jokes isn't here.
No.
Jokes will be joining us. This go round, I don't think he's gonna be getting in a little too late to join us for this week's episode.
Right.
So he will be sorely missed. However,
what up, Marcus?
The show must go on. Wham! It's Marcus. What's up, Alfonso? Happy holidays.
What up, Doc?
Good old Doc. Doc who gives a F. No Beacons link. You know what I mean? We just gonna hold tight.
Let's go hold tight.
I mean, it just doesn't feel right. You know what I mean? Like, I figure most of the people here already know what to do and they know how to do it. You know what I mean? We're on the chase to 1,000, so share.
We are.
You know what I mean? It's tricky because I watch stuff on YouTube all the time, man. I've been trying to get better about actually making sure I click the like button. You know what I mean? On stuff that I watch, especially when I watch stuff more than once.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to get better about that. It's one of those things we ask people to do all the time. What up, Tot?
I feel you.
Happy belated birthday, Tatiana.
Absolutely.
25 never looked so good. What's up, Heather? Yeah, man, I've been trying to get better about that, right? Because we ask people to do it all. You know what I mean? So I try to get better, be better about it. It's one of those things I think people just, you consume, right? And it's a different way of doing things. Because when you if you're watching something on streaming, like even now, like when you go on Netflix, like Netflix has like this thumbs up and then like a double thumbs up thing, which is really weird, but like, yeah.
I'm with you. I try. I'm better than I used to be, but still got a long ways to go. But I try. Like creators I like where I watch this stuff all the time. But it's like, why am I not following you? Like come on now. Like just go ahead and click the follow button. Yeah, just like I look at your stuff every day. Like, come on now. Yeah.
There's extra steps. Even if you hit subscribe, then you still gotta turn on notifications. You still it's a lot to do, man. I know we're asking y'all to do a lot. So I'm trying to just make sure that like we do those things.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all. Just
practice
what you preach and so forth. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But then you got a job to do.
Yes. So let's shout out our top tier patrons, starting with Anthony Cunningham, Marcus Houston,
so choppy,
Susan Deutsch, Tyrone Carson, Meticulous Skin, and Alex Lee. Thank you very much. We truly, truly appreciate it.
That's true. That's an absolute fact. We really do.
100%. Yeah.
Hey man, listen, things are kind of choppy. I don't know what's happening. You know what I mean?
Hey, look, I'm not downloading nothing.
It's always cool until we go live.
Yeah. I double check. Like I'm not downloading nothing. So
we just turned it off though. I mean, I don't. So
let's see. Hold on, we got some more.
But it is what it is.
Marcus with the call to action. That's what's up.
It is, bro. You know what I mean? Like, that's all we ask.
Mm-hmm.
What up? What up? What up, Cuddy?
I got you, Cuddy.
How goes it? Appreciate you, bro. Love back to you. Speaking of Cuddy,
Matter of fact, he says he's in Florida. He's not staying for the whole show.
That's cool, bro. Enjoy yourself and your time away. And man, listen. Last week we talked about them Girl Scout cookies.
You got them?
What?
It's just a question. It's just a question.
I don't play no games, bro.
Oh, you got him. Got him.
Hey, Slim, I got him, bro.
Okay, they're gonna last you the rest of the year, or not?
The rest of the week. Something like I don't know. You know what I mean? We do snacks around here. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Listen. Next week, Wednesday, the 28th, we will be having our discussion in Loading Snacks Movie Club for Krampus. I didn't pick it, Sin did. Let's see how it turns out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was
if you've already seen it.
That was a crapshoot for me.
Feel free to watch it again. You know what I mean? And then come in and watch us talk about it and join in the conversation in the chat. We'd love to have you. That's next Wednesday. Gonna do our best to make sure that every member of the movie club
Marcus wants to know
is there.
what flavor are those cookies?
Hey, bro, these joints are.
You got too excited. Well, I get to talk about these cookies.
These joints, they're called Toast Yay.
Oh, I thought
look.
I thought they was called Toasty Mother.
Basically, I thought they were Toasty A's, but they're Toast TOAST -YAY exclamation point. Toast Yay, bruh, is what they are. Their joints should say crack in a cookie bag, is what they should say.
Crack in the cookie bag.
Girl Scouts out here moving them things, bro. Out here moving weight by the loads, bro. Hey, come on, don't act like that. Listen, next week on Tuesday, we are starting the show early. That's right, an hour early, 7:30. Why? It's going to be a long show. Why? Because we're doing an end of the year special where we are going to be going over things like our favorite TV show, our favorite movie, our favorite moments, our favorite con moments, favorite cosplay. Like, we're just going to be having a discussion about pop culture in the year 2022, things you may have forgotten, like, I don't know, Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness this year. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot's been going on. So, yeah, favorite video games, favorite sneezes. I told you, bro. You hide that joint.
Look, thing is, we were already live, so I was like, there's no way I can hide this. Let me just mute it so it won't be heard on the screen, but I knew you were going to see it.
Man. Yeah. So, yeah, we'll be running early. Make sure you tune in because I really will be looking to see in the chat, in your comments, some of your favorite moments, favorite pop culture things that happen throughout the year. So please look forward to that next Tuesday, starting early, 7:30, as we close out 2022. Now, wait, did you say the next show is no. So 27th, Tuesday is the next Loading Snacks Weekly. We are doing an end of the year special. The following day, Wednesday, we are doing the Loading Snacks Movie Club discussion for Krampus. That's what's on the 28th. It's the Krampus discussion. Sin.
Yo.
I know Jokes isn't here.
Okay.
And it is an unfortunate thing because we have to talk about Pokemon.
Okay.
So I'm sure that, like, he's going to be a little upset that he's missing out on this. But Ash and Pikachu's run in the Pokemon anime is coming to an end.
Yes.
I'm sure you saw this. I'm sure you're familiar and are aware. I'm sure anime chat is all kinds of a buzz when they're not talking about Chainsaw Man. Bleach. But this is kind of a big deal, right?
It is. It is.
Ash been trying to catch him off for 30 years. And so a new series, a new season, starting in January 13th, 11 episodes. They're calling it a special. They're not really calling it a season. So that's a little interesting to me. You know, when you're saying you're doing a Pokemon special, that sounds like a movie or like one thing or something like, you know. But they're calling it a special. It's 11 episodes. It hasn't been determined how they're breaking it down, if it's going to be weekly, any of those things. But it is called Pokemon Aim to be a Pokemon Master.
Okay.
Listen, bro. I don't know, you know. Look. Regardless of where I personally am on Pokemon, I understand the cultural significance of what this is. Right? Sunsetting Ash and Pikachu is a big deal. And I think it's really dope that they're giving them their flowers. Like they're giving them an actual send-off.
I can 100% agree with that.
So what are some things you would like to see happen with this special? Like, I don't know, because I mean,
like,
Pokemon.
I'm about to say, just like you, like, I'm recently trying to dabble in Pokemon, just a little bit recently, whatever. So I'm not familiar with the lore and the characters and the regions and all that kind of stuff yet. But I do know that, yes, Ash and Pikachu have been a staple of Pokemon and anime, period. Let's just keep it a buck. Like they've been around forever. They've done so many games and one-offs and series and all types of stuff. I agree. I do like to see him getting his flowers before he gets out of there. I'm wondering what these, after all the series have come, is this going to be like a farewell tour of giving him his flowers for these 11 episodes before he's gone, or what? Like, it's not a movie. It's not. I mean, it's still within 11 episodes. Is still in the run of a season. You know what I'm saying? Of winter season. You know what I'm saying? Like coming up an anime, it'll run for the whole winter season. That's 11 episodes.
That's a season. I mean, it's going right. If they're doing 11 episodes and it runs weekly, you're talking about it not ending until like mid-March. Yeah,
right before the spring lineup comes up. Yeah, so it's really a final season what they're giving them. So and
they've already announced the following show.
Yeah, a new show with a new person picking up the mantle and carrying it on and all that kind of stuff. I'm just hoping that the fans of it, they just do Ash and Pikachu a good send-off for the fans of the show. That's all I want more than anything. Just for the people who've been fans of it since the beginning can, for the most part, have their Ash and Pikachu wrapped up in a nice bow for the people who've been following their journey since the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, they already made him a champ, finally. You know what I mean? Right? Like, he finally, after all these years, finally made, Sin.
I don't know nothing about that. But okay.
Yeah, better check it out. So, rumors are they're going to age him up and that at least one of the characters in the new show is his son or daughter. That's the rumor.
I would like to see him.
My question:
be a trainer. Go ahead.
Does he catch them all? Do they let my man catch all the joints?
No. There's way too many for him to catch. No.
And would it only have to be like the original run? Like
now, if it's the original run, If it's the original one, sure, whatever. Let Ash have it. Cool. Set him off. You know.
I'm sure somebody knows
with
how
flowers.
many joints he actually has caught.
Marcus, I'm pretty sure you do. Send that off
Oh,
if you know how many he's
he
got.
only has 2. Yeah,
Zayna
I would
says
really
maybe he'll
like
be
to
a
see
professor.
him.
I can see that too.
Yeah,
That could
I
be
mean, yeah,
interesting.
he could be a trainer or a professor.
Yeah.
That's a possibility. Though they're making it sound like he's not gonna be in it at all. Like beyond this. Like they're so I said now maybe they just mean he's not gonna be the star. But they're making it sound like Slim's just gonna be the ghost.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, I like to see like them really, give flowers to everybody. To Brock.
So Marcus, he's got 77 unique Pokemon.
No, he has 77, or he'll have to catch 77.
Clarify on that, Marcus, if you don't mind.
Because that's important. Because 77, that's 7 joints an episode. Slim not catching 7 joints an episode.
What they would do is they would do a montage towards like the last episode of them going around just catching them. Yeah.
All right. I would like to see him. I want to see somebody put hands on Team Rocket. I just want just one time, just mouth.
Not Pokemon hands, just real hands. Just give.
I want to see Ash just be like, you know what, Pikachu, sit this one out, dog. I got this joint. You know what I mean? All right, so he has 77, not counting the 30 Toros.
I don't know what that means.
You made that up. All right.
Yeah.
All right. That's enough Pokemon for the day, y'all. Jokes ain't here. We're cutting it short.
Rocky said, Team Rocket looking headless since 05.
Hey, dog. Real. I want somebody punch me out. Somebody punch me out from the mouth.
Catch them hands.
Gotta see. Gonna catch them hands. Whoop them all. All right. So, Sin.
Yeah.
The title of today's episode is it's not Chuckle. The title of today's episode is The DCEU is Dead.
Pretty much.
It's dead. So here's what we're gonna do.
And the funny thing, I went to the movies over the weekend, right? To go catch Avatar, and they put this Shazam trailer up, and the first thing that popped in my head is like, why at this point? Like, don't get me wrong. Yes, I enjoyed the first one. I would like to see it, but who cares at this point? DCEU is done. Like, none of this is gonna matter. But hey, whatever.
All right, so listen. Let's kind of go through the timeline. Like, all right, so we got an announcement, right? So hold on. So
Marcus, we don't know what the hell you mean when you're saying Toros.
Over the course of his run without all the Toros. Hey, dog, nobody knows what a
We don't know what you're talking about.
What are you talking about? I thought it was 77.
It was a second ago.
But now he's saying 47. Before he said 30 Toros. So I thought it was 77 plus the 30 Toros, like he needs the 30 Toros. But now it sounds like he only caught 47.
Hey,
dog, I don't know what you're talking about. Hey, so the DC
Pokemon
is dead.
Yeah, keep going.
Yeah. All right, so look. So first they were saying, I don't even know what happened first. It's been so much going on. Apparently they are still doing the Flash movie. Like, that's still going to be a thing. However, they cut supposedly Henry Cavill and Gal Gadot. Mm-hmm. They cut their cameos out of the movie, which I'm okay with. Only because the reality of it is, whatever it is they're trying to do, wherever they're trying to go next, that isn't the DCEU.
Good, Doc.
Flashpoint is clearly the best way to scrap everything and start over.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just, okay. But a couple of things were happening. So One, there's been a lot of backlash. So James Gunn responded to the DCEU plan backlash saying, "We are aware there would be a period of turbulence when we took this gig, and we knew we would sometimes have to make difficult and not so obvious choices, especially in the wake of the fractious nature of what came before us. But this means little to us in comparison to our jobs as artists and custodians in helping to create a wide and wonderful future for DC." So let me start by saying, well said. Who cares about the rhetoric? We're all going to talk our trash. It doesn't really matter because it was all already trash. So, like, to be honest with you, I'm not positive how people can be angry at the decisions that are being made. But there was also this. So James Gunn also responded saying, "I keep seeing posts with this untrue theory. We're not recasting everyone except the Suicide Squad. So let's clear the air. Maybe they're keeping the Suicide Squad and some other people. Maybe Jason Momoa is still going to be Aquaman. Maybe Gal Gadot is still going to be Wonder Woman. Cavill is out as Superman. They did say, whatever they do with Superman, they're going with a younger, fresher take on Superman. Again, I don't really care. It could be anybody. Write a good Clark Kent story, put some superpowers in it. We'll see what happens. That's where I'm at. And there's been a lot of back and forth. You brought up Black Adam. There's been a lot of back and forth about whether or not, we talked about this before, but whether or not Black Adam was actually successful or not. And, The Rock making a tweet comparing the amount of money that Black Adam made and saying, like, the first Captain America only made $370 million and we made $400 million or whatever. And it's like, nah, but if you adjust for inflation, that joint made like $420 million. Like, that joint came out like 2011 or something. Like, you know what I mean? However, Black Adam was also supposed to be the change of the power hierarchy in the DC. Well, today, because things are what they are, they basically said, no, sir. It's not you, buddy. So, The Rock tweeted today, "My passionate friends, wanted to give you a long-awaited Black Adam update regarding the character's future in the new DC universe. Okay. James Gunn and I connected, and Black Adam will not be in their first chapter of storytelling. However, DC and $7 have agreed to continue exploring the most valuable ways Black Adam can be utilized in future DC multiverse chapters. James and I have known each other for years and have always rooted for each other to succeed. It's no different now, and I will always root for DC and Marvel, in quotes, parentheses, to win and win big. You guys know me, and I have very thick skin, and you can always count on me to be direct with my words. These decisions made by James and DC leadership represent their vision of DCU through their creative lens. After 15 years of relentless hard work to finally make Black Adam, I'm very proud of the film we delivered for fans worldwide. I will always look back on the fan reaction to Black Adam with tremendous gratitude, humility, and love. We did great. To my very passionate and vocal Black Adam / superhero genre fans, I love you, thank you, and I will always listen to you and do my best to deliver and entertain you. What a hell of a month. Now we all need some Terramana because you have to.
Yeah.
Because you're the Rock. Have a productive week on Terramana. And happy holidays to you and your friends. So, all right. Black Adam's out. That was a Marvel call me. Definitely, Zach. That was, look, bros, I'm available.
My schedule just opened wide up.
Way up. Look, they could do something with Black Adam in the future. I'm going to tell you that I don't know if I see The Rock playing Black Adam
Yeah, that's so far down the line.
10 years from now. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so far down the line. Like, he's not at all including the first phase. Okay, I get that. You got to set your ground rules. You got to start everything up. Like, then where would he come into play? And you're right. Like, it might not be The Rock as we know it at that time. Like,
I mean, again, it's 8 to 10 years out, right? And you got to figure 2 years to just get started and put something out, right? So outside of being able to say, okay, let's put out Flash next year, use that, throw in some scenes at the end, do some reshoots at the end or whatever to kind of say, this is the direction we're going.
Yeah.
Figure it out, write it up. Here's our plan, map it out. You're looking at another 2 years. You're probably not looking at the first film until 2025.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking 2035. Sin, how old will you be in 2035?
Oh, younger than I am right now. I'll leave it like that.
Oh, this is not Flashpoint, sir. That's not how this works. That's not how this works.
I'll be, probably around 55.
I mean, bro, it's 10.
Yeah,
just add 10. Now,
that's what. Yes, that's what I'm doing. I'm thinking about, like, geez, that is. It's like it's long away, and it's not so far away at the same time. You know what I mean? Just
kids are going to go into high school and come out of college, like, and be done with college before this is like fully a thing. Like, you have to really think about what this is. And
I remember you talking about that as far as time wise with the MCU early on, like when your kids started to where like it all finally came to an end. At like y'all have gone through all those life moments,
all that actual phases, right? It's a and the DCEU has been an unfortunate hiccup in that road. Mm-hmm. Like their biggest joints don't even really come close. From a monetary standpoint. So here's what I want to do.
Yeah.
There are 12 current DCEU films. Here's what they are. This is in chronological order, not in order of release, but in order of like the actual timeline.
This will help. Okay.
So
let's run them down.
Wonder Woman 84, Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice, Suicide Squad, Justice League. The Snyder cut of the Justice League is one of those 12. You can pick which one you want to be the real thing. Technically, there's only 11. Aquaman, Shazam, Birds of Prey, which was Harley Quinn, but changed to Birds of Prey. The Suicide Squad, Peacemaker as a show is in there chronologically, like right there, but and then Black Adam.
Okay.
Followed by Flash.
Okay.
With technically only 11 movies. You can't even really do a top 10. Let's talk top 5. Feel free to sound off in the chat.
That breakdown of what joints are in the DCEU help me put the finishing touches on my list.
Yeah. I mean, right, because Joker's not part of that.
Right.
The Batman Nolan films outgrossed every one of these films. The last 2 joints outgrossed all of these, and you know how I feel about those.
Yeah.
Still, they've done better than these. So, all right. I'm going to do this.
Okay.
The best movie in this list, the number 1 joint, the best movie in this list is Shazam. I'm going to follow that with all these joints weak. I'm going to follow that with it does. It is crazy to say it's only 11, be that actually a lot, but Marvel makes them look like chunk. It does. It does because Marvel dropped 3 joints this year, right?
Think so,
Bro,
yeah.
Doctor Strange, Thor, and Black Panther.
Yeah, and Black Panther, yeah.
All right, so Shazam is the best joint. I'm gonna say Wonder Woman is number 2 for me.
Okay.
Aquaman.
Okay.
I think it's
Aquaman.
third.
That's your third?
I think so.
Okay. I know, right?
The Suicide Squad.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
I did enjoy that joint. It's definitely better than the first Suicide Squad. And then maybe Black Adam. Is Black Adam better than Man of Steel? Man of Steel was like Batman vs Superman was terrible. Wonder Woman 84 is terrible. Both Justice Leagues are terrible. First Suicide Squad, terrible. So, like, for real, I'm pretty sure.
Here we go with Ty.
I would put Black Adam above Man of Steel. Hey, Ty, you're tripping. Shazam is the best movie in this joint, pound for pound. Best action, best comedy, best acting. Like, like straight up. Like, it is. Shazam is hands down. It's the most unexpected joint. It's almost like they're Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, technically, Suicide Squad should be their Guardians of the Galaxy, but really it's not. Like, Shazam is kind of more of like their Guardians of the Galaxy. So, like, I don't know, dog. Yeah, Shazam is the best joint. What's the best joint, Ty? Feel free. Sound off.
Please.
By all means, because whatever you say, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna rip that joint to shreds. See, Shazam is the best all around. I'm with you, Kate Dizzle. I think that joint does, and I think that honestly, real talk, like right behind that joint, I really do think the first Wonder Woman film is the next joint. Fail to plan is planning to fail. That's real. That's real, Heather. Which again, I give kudos to them for hitting the reset button. Like, it takes to finally say, you know what, this isn't working. You know what I mean? Like, we have this all-star cast. We have people that fans really love in these roles. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Again, Henry Cavill could live without him as Superman. Doesn't really matter to me. I do really like Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. I was very unsure about that up front. That first movie changed my mind. She pulled it off. I like it. I was not sure about Jason Momoa's Aquaman. Pulled it off. I dig it. See, Cuddy, you with it. Nothing's even close to Shazam. Shazam is funny. It is action-packed. It actually has a decent villain. They pull them all together. They have the surprise at the end where all of them Brahmins get powers. Come on, dog. You're killing me, Ty, right now. Yeah, I just can't. Justice League was a travesty. The Snyder Cut isn't real. And though the Snyder Cut would have been a better movie, than what got released with what Whedon did with it, it still isn't good. It's okay at best, which is terrible for an ensemble film that has literally DC's greatest heroes, their hardest hitting people, minus Martian Manhunter. It should be leaps and bounds above. Like Thanos makes Darkseid look like he's pointless. And we know Darkseid should be a threat. Like should be a threat.
Mm-hmm.
So what's your number 5? Do you know?
Oh, I'm looking at my list.
Figure it out, right?
No, I have my list. And whatever. Let's just get to mine. My number 5.
Out of 5, how can like 6 movies be 11? Like
look, when you hit me earlier, said, yeah, we're gonna talk about this now. I said, all right. I looked at the movies. I was like, DC, come on now. Like, this is like you're making it easy yet difficult at the same time. Like it. But okay, my number 5 is Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice.
That's interesting. Okay.
That's it's really not. I can tell you why it's there out of everything. Like, because
I know why it's there, because somebody dies. That's cheating. But okay.
Yeah.
Superman dies.
Yeah, right. He died and he got beat by Batman. So that makes it entertaining enough for me.
Pushed it up for you. Got it.
Yeah. All right. Number 4 is Wonder Woman.
Okay. Okay.
I enjoyed it. But I think not as much as everybody else did. For me personally. Okay. Like, I don't honestly, outside of the villain and what happened in the trailer, I don't remember that movie at all.
Hey, dog, let me tell you something. The villain was garbage.
That's why I remember him.
And here's the thing. Everything about that movie, for me personally, is pretty solid, except the villain. The joint completely falls apart at the end, which is why, I mean, but it's on this list. So, like, compared to everything else that's on this list, it's like, but the villain completely falls apart. And that's because, never mind. Go ahead. Continue.
Number 3, The Suicide Squad.
Got it. Second
I enjoyed it. Yeah, yes, a lot more than the first one. I only will go back and watch the first one for Harley Quinn, just see a live action interpretation of her.
Yeah.
Like, other than that, I wouldn't. There's no reason for me to visit the first one. Yeah. Number 2 is the Snyder Cut for me.
Okay.
I enjoyed seeing all the missing pieces that should have, quote unquote, been there and everything, and seeing what it wanted to shape up to be. And seeing, the fans who do like Snyder's vision of it get behind and get passionate about it and sign petitions. No, we want more of that or whatever. Like, it just made it to number 2 for me just because, all that. Like I said, I did not like the first one just like everybody else. I enjoyed the second one more than the other one. And with everything they put out, like, yeah. And number 1 for me is...
For me, the Snyder Cut, the thing about the Snyder Cut is that even though the Snyder Cut is better, for me, it's only better because there's all this additional content. The stuff that I hated about the first movie is all still in the Snyder Cut. I still hate all of that in there. So, like, while that version of it does provide context and does allow for it, it's like I couldn't give it a pass because I think the runtime was way too long. And I think if your runtime has to be that long in order for you to tell that story, there's something else that's amiss, you know what I mean, with that, because I don't think it should take that long to tell that story.
No, it shouldn't. They should have done it the other way, like we've been saying for years. Do it the Marvel way, introduce everybody, then put them in a solo joint. This one, you're trying to shove them all in, and now you're forcing to stretch the runtime out.
More time, on Cyborg. Like, I like Cyborg. I think his story is cool and important. Yeah. You want to tell it, but like if you're not able to introduce Cyborg the way like Black Panther got introduced.
Just in another movie, it's how to focus on just him, get his origin out, yada, yada, yada. Absolutely, I agree.
Yeah. Okay.
And number 1 for me is, that's Shazam. That's easy.
Okay.
Yeah, that's easy. Yeah, Shazam is clear.
You know what? Is the only movie I'm really kind of like confused about where I want to place it and whether or not it should bump something and be on the list is Birds of Prey. I actually do kind of like Birds of Prey.
I'm with you.
I think it suffers from the fact that, like, one, the naming change. Again, we've talked many times about DC not knowing to do it. A character like Harley Quinn, is she a good guy? Is she a bad guy? Is she for little kids? Is she for adult? Whatever, like all that kind of stuff.
That could easily replace my number 5. Easily replace my Dawn of Justice.
Yeah, like I do actually like the portrayal of every other character in it. You know what I mean? Like I did enjoy that. It's cool. That could easily sneak up and take a number 5 spot for me. I feel like if I was like going through a list of just these movies and I was trying to decide of just the ones that are left over on my list, like from my number 5 through everything else that's on it, and I had to pick one to watch, it would probably actually be Birds of Prey.
Birds of Prey is a good throw on in the background movie.
Watching Black Adam. Black Adam was dope in that it brought these other characters in. You got to see, you know what I mean? Some like the movie's dumb, but like, you did get to see. It was cool to see Hawkman, and you know what I mean, like kind of see them bring some other characters into it.
Birds of Prey has that vibe of being a great throw in the background kind of movie. Like while you're doing stuff, you can just throw it on the background and laugh and snicker and look up every now and then while you're doing other stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of lives in that space where you also have characters who technically don't really have like powers for them. Like, you know what I mean? Like you just kind of have dope kind of female badassery, in there. But all
right, hold up. I got some stuff here I want to put up.
How do you reset a brand new IP you dropped in 2022 with Black Adam, though? You don't. You put Flash out next year and you use that to reset it.
Yeah, just reset everything, yeah.
And you use that to reset it. Yeah, I mean,
I actually agree with that.
Try to be too hard.
Too different.
Hard to be different from Marvel and Black. I agree. Again, looking for something to differentiate themselves from what Marvel is. We're the darker, broodier, meaner kind of, that's who we are. Well, the reality of it is that's not ever going to move tickets the way Marvel's joints do because they stay so PG-13. You're just going to bring them.
They found that pocket to be perfect in.
Like Marvel is making family movies for the most part, right?
But have enough adult humor in it for us. And enough.
Well, I guess what I'm saying is that like we're just now getting to a place where Marvel is like actually taking ownership of Deadpool, right? And saying we're going to keep it rated R. And that kind of thing. And so being able to kind of delve into that. But what that says to me is that they're going to look at it from a budget standpoint and know what they're up against, and they're going to spend accordingly so that they can work it the right way, right? Going back and doing Daredevil and bringing Daredevil back and doing a full 18 episode. What's up, B? I've seen about 30% of these movies and can remember about 12%. That's probably.
And isn't Daredevil supposed to follow the rated R kind of train as well? Are they keeping it?
I mean, I don't know that they specifically have said that.
Okay.
But I have to imagine that it will in some light. I'd be surprised if they didn't in some way. This is a great convo, and this is why I'm happy with the reboot. I hated the Snyderverse since day one. I mean, it was terrible. Man of Steel. I mean, look.
Ain't no complaints out of me. It's Man of Steel.
I know, but like, Sin worked his hardest to make me a Dragon Ball fan. And if there's anything that I did love about Dragon Ball, besides the trash talk, let me just say that Dragon Ball has some of the most epic trash talk in all television history.
Let me tell you something. It's gotten worse, though.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I feel you.
But like they really jive like rap battles don't have nothing.
On the way Dragon Ball, the way Vegeta used to go in before he get bodied.
Facts. So like, but Sin though, like I need like really great fight choreography and stuff like that. I hate when you would see like the little man and they fists would just be going like this or whatever. But when they land that joint and said something like 4 mountains or whatever, you'd be like, what? And that's what Man of Steel was. Man of Steel was like, dude.
Boom, 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 boom,
and so,
boom.
like, the end of it, while I understand you're actually trying to show technically on screen for the first time really how strong like Superman and Kryptonians are supposed to be, it just turned into a Dragon Ball fight, and I hated it. And it really was like not better than the end of Hancock.
I should have chose that for our movie of the month, but it wasn't Christmas themed.
Hancock, bruh. That last fight scene was so Dragon Ball, and it was like, oh, I seen this already. So yeah, I will say this. I do understand people being sad about Cavill being out, only because, not because Cavill's a great actor, not because Cavill's the perfect Superman. I really think the thing about Henry Cavill is that he really does embody being one of us. Dude is so into it.
Mm-hmm.
He loves it. He loves comic books. He's a super nerd, builds computers. You know what I mean? Like, totally knows everything there is to know about the
Warhammer.
Like, seeing him not be there. Exactly. So now he like done jumped to this. Now he's doing Warhammer with Amazon.
I think that
they don't order this like shows and movies and whatever, and he's gonna be, at the helm of that. And it's good to see him do that.
I think the thing that sucks and hurts with Cavill the most is the fact that he left The Witcher and went to do this. No, all right, let me get back into being Superman, and then.
I mean, listen, they're saying really. There's a lot of people saying that really he was going to leave The Witcher anyway because there was a lot of division between him and the showrunners because they didn't really want to follow what like the lore in the book. And he really was a stickler for that. Here's my only issue with that, right? Is that Cavill might be too much nerd. Like, he might be too much geek. When they started making these kinds of movies and films early on, he was a better Witcher. He's a gamer, super nerd, dedication, no doubt.
Yeah.
He might be too deep. That might be the problem. And I say that because having a respect for the material and following the material, following the books, knowing what happens and all that kind of stuff is great. It's wonderful. But you when they started doing stuff like this, like when the first X-Men film came out, I remember being that kid and going, that's not how it happens in the comics, and the suits are black and you know what I mean? Like, you kind of get in all of that, right? And as time goes on, you realize that it's kind of like you kind of have to treat it sort of like an offshoot, maybe like a separate universe, which we do more often in comic books than you do in stuff like novels, like The Witcher is, right? Still, you do have to understand and have a certain amount of respect for the fact that sometimes, based on what a very large new fan base is beginning to love about what they're seeing, you might need to make changes. The perfect example for that, outside of something like not everything in the MCU being the same as it is in the comic books, the stuff in the comic books isn't the same as the stuff in the comic books. They redo it and retell it all the time. But look at The Walking Dead. It's a comic book. It's a show based on a comic book. And the truth be told, there's characters that should have died years ago.
Don't tell me that, but yes, I know what you mean.
They were supposed to be dead.
Yeah.
Years ago.
Like Daryl's not even a character. Yeah. He's not even a character.
That's what I'm saying, right?
And now he's getting his own show next year.
People fall in love with the character or they fall in love with whatever. And sure, it might have a great impact. But when you're talking about the kind of money you're spending to do a show like that and having people that are more casual watchers that will just very quickly watch something else when their favorite character isn't there anymore or, whatever, making a change to the base story to keep those people there or to, change up what it is. I don't know exactly what kind of changes the showrunners were trying to make. I do think that there's a possibility that Cavill, because of the kind of nerd / geek / person with respect
that he was
for
ready
the
to
original
walk away
content, for the base content, may have not been able to see that, like, listen, we could do this for a lot longer, or there could be a lot more, or we could do more than just the number of novels that there are if we make these adjustments, if we change these things, or people really enjoy this person playing this character. That could be.
I think the MCU shows that off kind of perfectly. Like, just as we've come up on reading comics and that kind of stuff, and we know we're watching MCU, like, these things happen this way, but we've championed them over the years. Like, okay, we get why they had to make that adjustment. It's not really that big a deal in the scheme of things. I look at Civil War. Like, Civil War is across every book in the Marvel fandom, and it's months long that this thing takes place out. They did it in 2 hours and 30 minutes. You know what I mean? And it felt right. It felt good. It felt right for what they had to accomplish, how to tell the Civil War. Also, like we said, with it being a Captain America movie, not even like an Avengers movie, but still, let's bring everybody in. Let's line them up.
You're trying to take something like Civil War.
Yeah, we don't have all
and split it between like 13 people instead of like 400 people. Yeah. Like, you don't have 400 characters to tell that story. Yeah, I mean, and introduce new people. You know what I mean? Like, while you're doing it, it's like, look, I think the Warhammer thing is a good move for Cavill. I'm not gonna watch it. I'm not gonna watch it.
I watch it just because, but yeah,
I'm not gonna watch it because he's in it.
Oh no!
That's all. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like, again, like, Cavill just doesn't do that for me. Like, it's not. Yeah. All I want to see Henry Cavill do is shotgun arms. That's it.
I still gotta see shotgun arms.
That's it. Hey, bro, they put out like a 9-minute fake trailer for this.
Just shotgun arms?
No.
I'm about to say, some of that link.
For the new Mission Impossible, for part 1 of the new Mission Impossible. Okay. It's like a 10-minute trailer about the stunts that they did. Like, it's like the biggest stunt in movie history.
The Tom Cruise was sharing it and it was going around and all that stuff. Okay, so I didn't click on it. I didn't know what it was. Just I know it was him showing off stunts from Mission Impossible. Okay. I would.
It's one stunt. It's one stunt, but it's like all the prep and all the stuff they did to get ready for it, and him doing it over and over and over again. And I'm gonna be real, like, that made me want to see the movie. Like, I was like, hey, you know what, dog?
Okay, fair enough.
I might watch this joint in a theater. Maybe. Look, DCEU's dead. I'm happy about it. I want to see it get put to rest. I want to have a good jumping off point to be able. I'm not even necessarily interested in them doing a connected universe. I don't think it's necessarily a bad idea to say, okay, we're gonna continue doing the Batman, but he's not part of this universe.
Yeah,
like, it's, you know what I mean? Like, we're just doing that, and that doesn't mean we won't have a Batman
in that.
You know
universe.
What I mean? Or whatever. I think it could get really confusing
separate
for people.
Agreed.
Again, that's one of the things they got to figure out, right? Is what do you do with that kind of stuff? Look, putting the Flash movie out could backfire, not just because it could be terrible, and I'm gonna keep it a buck. It's probably gonna be terrible, but also because nobody likes Ezra Miller. Nobody.
Not right now. No.
So, to put a movie out that stars him and, like, puts him, like, I know you've done the work and you put this much time and effort into it, but the reality of it is you have nixed projects that were done. You know what I mean? That you spent, that kind of money on. Y'all got to do something. And I feel like putting that movie out, that movie is likely to have people just straight up boycotting it because it's Ezra Miller.
Mm-hmm.
And so it could very easily backfire. And James Gunn will get a pass because they know it's not his movie. Like, they know he wasn't in charge when they started doing it, and blah blah blah. Right? So him and Safran will get a pass for it, but it's gonna remain to be seen what they're able to do. There's a part of me that feels like James Gunn already has a really solid knowledge of what plans Marvel has that they haven't told us already, because they've already given us, like, all of Phase 5 and, like, the first part of Phase 6. He's probably aware, you know what I mean, of some of what that is, which does give them some sort of advantage in terms of competing. But you have to remember that Marvel, Disney is going to begin to fire on all cylinders in ways we haven't seen yet, because we don't have X-Men yet. And it just takes like the lightest sprinkle for people to just go 8 and be like, oh, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So why you make that face? Oh, okay. That's the thing. You can have multiple characters in DC. They are predicated on the multiverse. All right. Okay, Ty.
Now do you get the face?
That's why you made that face.
Yeah.
That's not the thing about DC. That's the thing about comic books.
Yes.
Comic books have multiverses.
Yes.
DC's not special for that. However, if DC right now does that and calls it a multiverse, it would be a very, very bad thing to do, because it's just going to feel like for the millions and millions and millions, dog. I'm talking like Black Adam says, and millions of like people watching.
I can picture the meme. I'm sorry. Oh, we get on that.
Of people watching these movies that have never picked up a comic book, that don't know the difference. You have to please try to remove yourself for a moment, Ty, from being the fan you are, and understand the number of people who go to a movie, come out, enjoy what they saw, take their kid to Target, and ask for the Black Adam doll from that Marvel movie. You understand what I'm saying? They're just superhero movies to people, right? And while I think people have become smart enough to understand that this character wasn't in this movie with these people, they don't necessarily know that they don't all come from the same thing. People don't, for a lot of people, Marvel and DC are the same thing. They just comic books. It's not different. You know what I mean? They don't look at, we look at Marvel and DC and we see ABC and NBC, CBS, right? We see them like different stations, like different channels that have different shows. But there are people who just look at it like, oh, it's superheroes. So it'll just be people like, oh, it's a TV show. You know what I mean? When you try to compare those things. So you have to bear in mind that it's either going to feel like you're copying, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or it's going to feel like it's a part of something that isn't a part of something. And that's going to make people more confused, right? And so the more you do, if you have the Batman and a Batman Beyond and another Batman and and they all Bruce Wayne, or they all, you know what I'm saying? You just, people won't understand what's going on. And you can't give people that much credit. It's literally the same thing as me saying Henry Cavill might have been too geek to be in a position to understand, hey, in order to keep this going, or we have a good thing, or whatever it is, we'd like to see it live beyond this. We're gonna make some tweaks. We're gonna change some things. Right. And sometimes that's necessary. I don't personally think it would be a good idea for them to have 3 Batmans running around at the same time. I don't think that's a good idea.
No, it gets too confusing for the normal viewer, if you would. I mean, is this tied to the same movie that I watched last year, or is this tied to something else? And yada yada. It will get too confusing.
I mean, you got multiple Jokers floating around already. You know what I mean? You have Joker, then you have the Jared Leto Joker. At the same time, it's not the same thing. Who is it's just it's a lot. You know what I mean? And so I think that would be a bad idea. I think it would be a bad move, and I think it would just confuse. I think it would be more confusing.
No, they're going the right way. Sweep it all away, throw it all away, start from scratch. We just got to start from the drawing board, with everything.
If it was up to me, and it's not, but if it was, I would probably work to find a way to base whatever I do going forward on the success of the Batman and build everything else around that.
Look, that was on my list, so I'm glad when you ran through it, but it was on my list with a question mark. So I was like, it's
not part of the DCEU.
Yeah, that's why I just left it with a question mark. And once you ran through them all, I was like, cool, bet, I got my list. Right. I'm good. I don't got to worry about that. All right.
DCEU is Batfleck.
Yeah.
So I would base it around that. And I say that because it's already a clean slate. People have already accepted it. It is what it is. Love it or hate it. You don't have to like it, but you can build everything else around it. The Gotham, he's younger. He's just starting out. You're going for a younger Superman. Sounds about right to me. You know what I mean? You know, I don't think you can base something like this around a character like Black Adam. It's stupid, in my opinion, to try to base something like this around a character that is such an anti-hero. To do everything else Shazam. Try to make them the center. Like, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I like The Rock, but the recent run of like trying to push Black Adam and so forth has kind of made me not like that dude. It really kind of made me like, because I just feel like he really tried to like muscle his way in and like force himself to be the face of the hot power hierarchy is changing. And that's not like, you know, he does subliminal, not subliminal. Like, it was kind of like, nah, dog, I'm the highest paid actor in Hollywood. They got me. I've been trying to do this for 10 years. I'm in there now. I'm about to run this joint. And like, I really feel like before they put Gunn in place, he was like, I'm about to be the Kevin Feige of this. Like, I'm about to be the dude. Like, I'm really about to be calling the shots here.
I feel you, because this just gives me just some reminding of him exiting the Fast franchise. They brought him in, you know, as Hobbs, and then there was all this thing with him and Vin getting into it and everything or whatever, him leaving it and all that kind of stuff. And then here we are with Black Adam, and a lot of things are pointing towards The Rock being some of the issue with things like that. It's just like, okay, maybe your ego and your status may, I mean, look, you are that guy, you are, but like, you're ruining big franchise you should be a part of, you know what I mean, type of deal. Like, you're ruining things with this.
Just understand what. All right, look. I told y'all about Rock and his passion. I don't think you did. I don't remember you telling me nothing about The Rock. Except that you was in love with the fact that he was going to be Black Adam. That's all I remember. I want you to keep in mind, right, that like what he posted, right, to my passionate fans, blah, blah, blah. James Gunn and I connected, and Black Adam will not be in the first chapter of storytelling.
But best believe Rocket, but I'm sorry, not Rocket. Black Adam is coming back.
Well, look, even that is, however, DC and $7. Now, $7 is his production company. So you have to understand that, like, he's got money in this. His production company is involved in it. He's trying to make it a thing. Yeah. He's trying to be that guy and do that thing. And like, this is an in for him, right? Yeah. So I'm not mad at the power play. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like you tried to strong arm it. So I would be willing to bet you, and I didn't look this up, but you can maybe do the research probably real quick. I bet you $7 is absolutely involved in Hobbs and Shaw. And the thing about Hobbs and Shaw and the way that all went down was Vin Diesel's issue with the way that happened is that, if you remember, they filmed an after credit scene and put the after credit scene in the movie and didn't tell Vin Diesel it was in the joint. Vin Diesel didn't know about the after credit scene that he's not in, but The Rock is in, until the movie was already released. What you see, buddy? He got a lot of credits.
Let me say something. It's more than that. Mm-hmm. When I go to $7bucks.com,
yeah.
Here's what I'm gonna tell you. I'm looking at it right here. Hobbs and Shaw.
When I went to Universal Studios, right, on the Universal Studios tour, when they take you past, here's the back lot where we film this, here's the back lot where we do blah, 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 blah. As they take you on the tour, literally they go like that. That right there, that building right there, that's The Rock's office. That's his building where he does blah, 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 and does all his production. He comes in. Sometimes we see him when we're doing these tours or whatever. He's not here today, blah, blah, blah. Slim has a joint on the Universal lot.
What up, Larry?
Like Slim's making moves. What's up, Larry? So,
yeah.
Again, it's a power play for him. He's not just saying, hey, I talked to James Gunn. I'm not just an actor in the middle of this. I'm part of the production. My company is pushing this and putting it together and putting it out.
Yeah, trying to get his hands into these big franchises. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, and the people, I guess, responsible behind these big franchises may be bucking against them. Like, no, bro, like you're a character in here. Like, we respect you, we want you, but like, you can't be coming in here like calling the shots. We have things we're trying to do and yada yada yada. And
yeah, but if you sign his production company, right? I mean, you have to remember, right? Like we just talked about Mission Impossible. Mission Impossible,
Black Adam,
the production company that does Mission Impossible, it is produced now by Tom Cruise. And the reason why it's produced by Tom Cruise is because the production companies it was under wouldn't let him do any stunts. They wouldn't let him do what he wanted to do.
Shazam is on this list too.
I know. I'm trying to tell you, like
I know. I'm just looking at the list as you're talking. I'm just looking at like everything that he has under $7 Productions. Like I'm just looking at it.
He has had his hand in so many things. He does have a lot of power, right? And so when he says, "Me and James Gunn sat down together," he's making it sound like, nah, like Slim has to talk to me. You know what I mean? Like it's not even just like, hey, y'all. Unfortunately, like James Gunn gets to make that call. He's actually the dude in charge, right? Your production company is a production company that's hired by our company to be involved in the stuff, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. But like, you're not above me. So you don't get to come to me and say, hey, Black Adam is the new blah, 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 you know, whatever. So you can try to dress it up and make it sound as pretty as you want. But the reality of it, like all of this, James and I have known each other for years and we really push for each other, blah, 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 whatever. Again, he can't just say DC, right? I will always root for DC in parentheses.
And Marvel.
Again, just like you said, that's my, and don't forget, $7, man. We out here. We do things we produce. Yeah. If you look at what's happening in places like that and the kind of deals like, you know, look, actors are getting a lot smarter. It's a lot like what's happening in music with rappers like or singers beginning to own their publishing, right? Absolutely. Really kind of pushing that thing. So same thing is happening with actors and what they get from what they do. We saw a lot of that with the whole Black Widow thing, with her suing Disney because of how long it not being in the theater and how much money she's supposed to get and the way the contract is worked and her getting a different kind of money based on streaming and that kind of thing, right? If you look at somebody like Robert Downey Jr., right, who signed in early, Robert Downey Jr. gets a piece of every single thing MCU does because he bought in.
He is good.
Every single thing they do, right? Because of the way he structured his contract. You got to keep in mind that like when Marvel did those first movies, again, we're talking about comparing them to DC and what DC did. DC comes to bat with their A-list. Everybody already knows these characters and can't do what Marvel's doing with who are arguably their B-tier, C-tier characters. Because they literally sold the rights to all their A-tier characters. Spider-Man is with Tony,
Blade,
Fox, and Fantastic Four, and Blade are all owned by other people. Even the Hulk, who is technically part of the Avengers, was Universal, which is where $7 production is, by the way. You know what I'm saying? So,
yes.
Right? So, not only did they sell, like they had sold all that off, but in order to get the money from, I'm pretty sure it was Merrill Lynch. Like they went in and brokered a deal with Merrill Lynch to get like $500 million or whatever it was to make the first couple of films, right? To do Iron Man and whatever. But in order to do that, to get that loan, they actually had to put up those same characters. So if Iron Man hadn't been successful, if the first Thor movie wasn't successful, ownership of Captain America and Thor and the Avengers and all of that was up for grabs because they basically had to put that up in order to get that loan. Like it's what
funny
he's trying to do.
Funny how things work out, man. Because now they're all household names. Like
exactly. And so their ability to take those names and now actually also have the X-Men back and have like DC got an uphill battle no matter what.
For sure. I'm wishing them the best, but y'all start has been terrible. It is.
That's why I would much rather see them start with people we don't know. Just give me people we don't know. You know what I mean?
Let's go.
I mean, I'm down. You know what I'm saying? I'm down. A Nightwing joint could be dope.
Yes.
Could be really dope. If they're smart about it, they could really do a dope Nightwing movie. It just,
I think deserved.
Agreed. You could tie it into, oh yeah, I've trained under Batman. I was Robin, blah, blah, blah. Like you could tie it into the Titans somehow and kind of push, like it just gives you a lot of tied in. They could do something smart. You know, you muted. Just yeah.
Yes,
I would rather.
I was just agreeing with you while I was on mute. Like, yes, 100%. Nightwing is perfect. Yes, just set some things off.
Yeah, man. Look, I'm not mad that DC is where it is and what they're doing. It actually, there's a certain level of satisfaction. Yeah, exactly. A Young Justice movie would be so dope. We talked about that like last week, the week before.
That's
like it was launching point
for the DCEU. That's a perfect launching point. Gives us enough new characters that we don't know about to build up on, and we have the ones that we have group on, the Superman, the Wonder Woman, the Bat. We have them in the reserves. Like they'll show up once in a blue moon, stuff like that, when things get heavy, when the big ensemble movies come together, stuff like that. But no, we can build off the Young Justice and branch it all out. Like you said, it's just new characters in here and branch it out with. Yeah.
It could be really dope, man. Like if they, again, that's the thing. When they first announced James Gunn doing this, again, it's like you don't know what he's going to do. You know what I mean? I don't love James Gunn's work. I think he does okay work, but it's not really about him directing. You know what I mean? It's about whether he's able to have a vision to put something together that's years out and really look at what they have and put that together, right? And so if with him and Safran being in those roles together, right? Because Feige doesn't do it all by himself. Let's not, you know what I mean? But that right now with him being like, yeah, nah, we're not doing that. Oh yeah, nah. I know y'all mad. Cavill's out. Like even like again, like
he has a plan.
The Rock took it upon himself to say welcome home, right? To do a tweet, well, all I gotta say is welcome home, and like really fight to get Henry Cavill back in and think he's really only for that joint to turn around and the movie to technically bomb, and then just be like, yeah, so we're not going. We're thinking like literally that means he sat down with James Gunn and James Gunn was like, so we're thinking about going a different direction.
You know what? You know what? I was thinking the same thing actually. Rock probably said.
That's no. He wasn't. He wasn't. I'm sure he had a pitch. You know what I mean? Like he probably had a whole, like we could do this and that. Like he probably had a whole pitch and a plan ready to go. And $7, man, we gonna be in there.
No, you're right. He was pitching him versus Superman heavy. When you're a Shazam villain for the most part, so you should be. We want to see you with Shazam. That's who we know you for. Like, stop trying to jump up.
In a tweet, like he said, nobody wants to see Black Adam fight Shazam. They want to see Black Adam fight Superman. Let's get the people what they want. That's what he said.
No, Rock, you're wrong. We want to see him fight Shazam.
I mean, I'd be okay with him fighting Shazam and Superman showing up, just like Superman showed up. But again,
absolutely.
But listen. Keep in mind, you just read it, right? Shazam is a $7 production joint, right? Who showed up in the after credit scene at the end of Shazam? Superman.
showed up, but
He
not
literally
show
did
up.
the
Yeah.
exact same thing at the
Yeah.
end of Black Adam as he did at the end of
Yeah.
Shazam, and they're the same character, dog.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm good with James Gunn being the chef right now because he's throwing out ingredients that I'm just like, yeah, that joint don't have no flavor anyway. Get rid of it. We don't need it. You know what I'm saying? Get rid of it. We don't need it. Now we're good. We're gonna go another direction. Yeah, like I'm good with that. Patty Jenkins, dog, for all the trash, it seemed like she talking and y'all know this, that, and the third. Let me tell you something, Patty. You got one good movie, not
That's
two.
it.
One joint. You got one good joint,
and
not
one
great joint, but one good joint and one stinker, bruh. Like
one good, one bad. Like
super bad joint.
Like you are even right now. Like
yeah, so you back at zero. You know what I'm saying? Like so.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman 3.
No.
Can you? Hey dog, listen. Hey dog, I know we running long, but I can't help myself. Hey Sin. What was the pitch for Wonder Woman 3? What was she gonna do?
Oh, Wonder Woman 3. Hey, look, we going to space this time. Look, I have it all looked out. I have it all written down. Yeah. That's the dumb shit she said walking into the offices.
I hate you, dog.
Look, just think about it. Just think of the possibilities of having Wonder Woman in space.
Hades or something, dog. Yeah, that joint. Come on, man. Yeah, that's I can't see it. There's a part of me that just thinks like whatever that pitch meeting was like, James Gunn looked at that joint and was like,
that's what he said when he read it. Oh, let me stop. I'm sorry.
What's this joint? Wonder Woman 95? Get out of here, dog. Get out of here, dog. Straight up, dog. I'm not. Come on, man. Yeah. So we have varying choices of movies for our top 5 DCEU. I'm sure y'all have different ones in y'all's, you know, compared to us. Ty, I'm sure your favorite joint is
his joint is left. I'm sure.
Man of Steel.
Number 1, Man of Steel.
Then Batman vs Superman. Then
that's
Justice
number 2.
Cut.
That's number 3.
And I know he did say he didn't like Wonder Woman 84. That's one joint I'll give him points for. I know he liked The Suicide Squad. I might give him that. Out of all them joints, for real, Peacemaker might be the best piece of content. Which is a James Gunn baby boy. So, you know. All right, look. Let's shut it down, man. How you gonna have a movie in 84 with no 80s music? Hey, dog, listen. Even if there was 80s music, it probably was gonna be 80s music you don't like. That's probably really what it was gonna be. How you gonna have a Wonder Woman movie where the lasso of truth is a cartoon?
And it allows you to swing off lightning bolts to the sky. I'm just saying. I saw it in the trailer and knew, oh, this movie's some BS.
You remember when we watched that joint? I was like, did she just Spider-Man across the sky, dog? Oh, this is no good.
This is bull.
This is not good.
Like
this is
each
not
movie
it.
You get more and more ridiculous, huh? You fast enough to hit bullets with your bracelets, like just running side by side the top and flash.
Like I don't.
Yeah, no, sweetheart, it's not what you do.
Dog, some of them kids would have died. I'm just giving a fuck, dog. Like
easy.
Yeah. Again, listen. When you watch the Snyder cut of it, it's way better. Like it makes more sense. It's still fluke. All right, so look again next week, Tuesday, Loading Snacks Weekly, special year-end edition. We're starting an hour early. We're starting at 7:30 because we're going over our favorite moments, pop culture moments of 22. So video games, movies, TV shows. We're gonna be talking about all kinds of stuff. So Feel free to tune in early. Feel free to put some of your favorite moments yourself, together and share them with us next week. Next Wednesday, Loading Stacks Movie Club will be meeting again so that we can discuss Krampus. Right after the holiday. Sin, you got a job to do?
Yeah, so first off, let me just see if I can get this right. Okay, yeah, put a Biggins link in there just because it's the end of the show.
Aww.
But let me go ahead and shout out our top tier patrons, starting with Anthony Cunningham, Susan Dortch, Tyrone Carson, Meticulous Skin, Alex Lee. Thank you very much. We truly, truly appreciate it.
It's the truth. Y'all are the bestest.
Yes.
Okay. Listen, we're getting out of here.
Ty, get ready for Thursday. You know what that is.
Oh, shucks.
Yep. Alice in Borderland Season 2.
We want to wish you all a very, very, very happy holiday. If you're already celebrating, then please do, whether it's your Hanukkah or your Kwanzaa. If you're celebrating Christmas this weekend, please enjoy your time with your families and so forth. Again, we appreciate you all being here with us, doing this with us. Is a present for us. And we are really, truly, extremely thankful for that. So thank you for hanging out with us. We're looking forward to seeing y'all next week. I'm going to leave you with this. Again, you can't increase your value to others by increasing their value to you. With that, we are out. Lose and lose. Shut them down.
Loading snacks.